The date is July the 15th, 1982. And tonight, the Beavertown Historical Society is going to interview Mr. Ira Gross.
Good evening. This is July the 15th, 1982, and tonight the Beavertown Historical Society has the distinct pleasure and the great honor to have Mr. Ira C. Gross as our guest. Mr. Gross has been part of our community for more than 3/4 of a century, and the members are just delighted to have this chance to interview him and the interesting things he has witnessed and participated in during his lifetime. Mr. Gross, perhaps we could begin by asking you when you were born.
I was born January 6th, 1892.
You're a 19th century baby.
I'm 90 years old.
90 years old. Where were you born, sir?
I was born on the farm.
Where you presently live?
No, on the house toward Beavertown, the first house toward Beavertown, from my place.
I see. Who lives there at the present time?
I believe a man by the name of Naylor. It's owned by my nephew.
Mr. Schlegel?
Yes.
Yes. Where did you get your early schooling?
Well, at Beavertown. I started there when I was 5 years old and completed the elementary education at Beavertown.
Through the 8th grade?
Yeah, in fact, I was in there an extra year because there was no high school.
Uh-huh.
And the extra year was very good because Squire Charles Wetzel was the teacher that year, and he's excellent.
Yes, sir.
In fact, may I say, with one exception, we had excellent teachers.
Who was the one
All
exception?
through the elementary.
Would you care to name the exception, or would you
Well,
rather...
no, I wouldn't care to name him. I think he's not known here. It was Mr. Musser, the father of Mark Musser, whom some of you may remember as the retarded...
Yes, you mean you.
A retarded individual in this community, and another son, Roy Musser.
That interruption, sir, that I just gave was a sort of my imitation of Mr. Joe Musser, or Mark Musser, as you call him.
And he was the first primary teacher, very cruel and very abusive, and he only lasted 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, we had very good teachers.
Who were your other teachers?
Well, Squire Adler
Yes, sir.
and Irvin Freed,
Mm-hmm.
Bill Engel, John Fatty Wetzel, John Wetzel,
Yes, sir.
and Billy Brunner.
Who?
Billy Brunner, William Brunner.
William Brunner. That's the new one on me.
Well, he was later county superintendent.
Mm.
And a man from Richfield, Bert Neiman,
Mm-hmm.
who was a good teacher, and he also took us boys over to the railroad when the freights went by and taught us how to hop freights.
Really?
On and off.
Isn't that interesting?
And then Squire Wetzel
Yes, sir.
were the teachers.
Who were some of your classmates?
Well, Jake Wetzel, Max Bingaman, Earl Feast, Bob Adler, Esther Bingaman.
Esther.
Esther Bingaman, I forget her married name, she's dead now. In fact, they're all dead but one. And Margaret Wetzel, she lived in Detroit, and I correspond with her.
So it's you and Margaret
Are they all
Survivors.
Members of that group.
of the Beavertown Elementary School that you
And
attended.
Evelyn Stryker,
Oh, yes.
Dr. Stryker's daughter,
Yes.
and Marie Kearns, not Marie, Lula.
Lula. That's the one that Max had built a car around it.
Yes.
Called the Lula Mobile.
Yeah, Lula Kearns, and well, there were Ada Hetrick, Anna Gilbert,
Well, Ada Hetrick's still living if you're referring to Ada Thomas.
Ada Thomas, and
And what,
But now she is 2 years younger than me.
oh, I see. Now, you never went to the Beavertown High School then?
No.
That started 1 or 2 years after you finished.
The year I left here to go to the prep school.
Then they started the Beavertown
They
High
started
School.
the high school. I believe that was started in a house owned by Bill Snyder, down at the foot of
Center and Walnut Street it is. It's where,
Main Street and Church Street or something.
yeah, it's Center and Walnut Street. It's where Madeline Hackenberg
Yes,
lived.
that's right, where Madeline Hackenberg
It's
lived.
where Barry Hackenberg
That was
presently
the-
lives.
That was the high school, but I did not attend that. And
Where did you go to prep school?
at Susquehanna had a preparatory department.
And then you went and got your bachelor's degree from
And
Susquehanna.
then after I got my high school prep school diploma, I was home one year because my father was ill. I stayed home on the farm. And then I returned to Susquehanna and got my bachelor's degree in 1915.
1915, you got your bachelor's degree.
And I went from there to Huntington as a science teacher and football coach,
Huntington,
Pennsylvania,
at the Huntington High School.
Huntington High School. And
Would that have been in the fall of 1915 then?
what?
In the fall of
I
19...
went there in the fall of 1915 and stayed there until August 1917 when I left for the service for the
World War I.
World War I. And after returning from World War I went to the Pittsburgh area, Scott High in North Braddock, as football coach and a teacher of science, and was there till 24.
Till 1924.
And then I returned here. My father had a stroke, and I came home here until 1929.
Did you teach then, or
No,
did you
I ran the
ran the
farm.
family business?
I ran the farm. And then in 1929, I accepted the principalship of the Southmont High School in Johnstown and was made superintendent in 31.
This is a city, the Johnstown City
It's a
School.
suburban area of, well, we had about around 800 in the high school, 750 to 800. And it was a suburban area, a very wealthy area, very aristocratic. And I was there until I retired in 54.
1954. Would that, did you resign effective as of the end of the school year in 1954, which would have probably been in the month of June?
June 30th.
June the 30th, 1954.
I retired.